Harris's clampdown policy in California was if your child missed 10% of school days, their parent can be jailed for a year. Cherie was arrested and charged. She spent the next 2 years in court fighting them while her baby was sick. She was 3 months postpartum from the birth of her son when she was arrested in 2013 and would go on to lose her house and her job paying for legal bills. So much for being a mamala that cared about Black lives. The corporate media certainly will ignore this story as they only want to pitch Harris softballs. You can watch Cherie's full story at arrestedbykamala.com. For reaction, we bring the man behind this film, Roger Stone, political operative, the brain of the Stone Zone, a source of amazing stories and amazing insight. Roger, thank you for joining us and for putting this together.
Great to be with you. This powerful documentary is actually made by Joel Gilbert. In my research, I identified the case. It's even more shocking than you've laid it out. So Kamala Harris not only arrested this woman, perp walked her at 6 o'clock in the morning and prosecuted her after tipping off the media, but Cherie Peoples had documented for the school her daughter's illness. They had all of the letters and forms from the doctors. The poor daughter, 12 years old at the time, Shayla, actually suffered a stroke at the age of 12. She had to have blood transfusions every 3 weeks. She was very sick, and as you point out, it's extremely painful. But you see, this whole issue of arresting parents for truancy was part of Kamala Harris's goal to move from the district attorney's office to be attorney general of the state of California. So it became a centerpiece of her campaign. Much later, she was asked whether anybody was ever actually prosecuted and jailed under this wrong-headed law, and she said no one was prosecuted, which is, of course, a lie. After fighting for 2 years and essentially losing everything, Cherie Peoples was ultimately vindicated when the California State Supreme Court declared the law under which she was being prosecuted by the heartless Kamala Harris unconstitutional.
I find it ironic, but maybe not surprising, that this was a policy pushed by a woman who herself has never had children. I mean, she's had children through her husband, but adopted children. She's never had the experience of having to be a mother who's working, who's raising a child, and the disconnect there, combined with this effort to make her out to be this champion of women and children, is just an egregious PR stunt. I don't see how they've gotten away with it for this long. How did she get away with it as Attorney General?
Well, and of course, it's about money. In other words, as she says, as you showed in the clip, there's a formula. So the schools get more money if they have more students. But in this particular case, there's no question that it was not neglect by the mother, Cherie Peoples. It's that she had a very sick daughter. This is a very painful disease. So just riding in a car, if the car hits a bump, it's extraordinarily painful. Cherie is back in the hospital even as we speak. I understand that Robert F. Kennedy has interviewed Cherie for an upcoming broadcast, which I think is hopefully get more people to understand how heartless Kamala Harris was. But this is the same prosecutor who, on the one hand, claims she was tough on crime and tough on drugs and tough on the cartels, but actually under her leadership as district attorney, a drug dealer had to be arrested 3 times before they would be prosecuted. In other words, she insisted that they not be arrested, they not be prosecuted after the first offense. She's very soft on crime.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.